All right, we'll get started.
It's starting early this morning, correct?
Yeah, just today because I have a scheduling conflict with my other studio.
No problem.
Yeah, so we'll start and then we'll end at 8:15. All right. So you can just come to lay on your back, starting to get comfortable on your mat, get settled. You can bring your arms and your legs out if you like, or feet planted. And then just, as always, taking that first few moments to find some nice deep breaths here. Just long inhales through the nose, the belly rises. And exhale out of the nose. Just let your belly fall. Try to soften your shoulders, your back body. Just any points of tension. Try to find some softness, try to find some space. And just let go of whatever you're holding on to, especially if you woke up with any aches or pains or stiffness. Just trying to let the floor and the mat completely support the weight of your body. It's taking about 3 or 4 more and really finding that rhythm of breath. And then at the end of that 4th breath, slowly rocking the head back and forth here. And try to take your time. Just feeling any tension in your neck or your shoulders. Good, and then wiggling fingers, toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles. Good, heels together at the back of the mat. Reach your arms up overhead. Take an inhale, full body stretch here. Try to point the toes if you can. And exhale, relax. Good, one more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax. Good, step the feet onto the floor. And then start to draw the knees in toward the chest one by one. Arms around the shins. And just gently hugging the thighs in. And then press down through the low back. On your inhale, try to ground down, find that connection. Exhale, thighs squeeze in close. Okay, so breathing in, find that space. Exhale, gentle squeeze. Good, one more like that, breathing in. Breathing out. Okay, we're gonna keep the right knee in. Left leg extends out long onto the mat. Interlace your hands on top of your right shin. So we're gonna focus mainly on the hips this morning. Right away, if you like, you can start to circle out your right hip here. Sort of find some movement. Sliding the right thigh side to side. Do that for about 3 or 4 more. I'm just moving in a way that feels good for your right hip. All right, so at the end of the last breath, step the right foot onto the mat and then allow your right knee to fall open into a reclined tree pose. So you can stay like this. You can have your arms extended out to the sides, maybe reaching up overhead. And just find a position that feels good, that feels comfortable. And try to let your right knee and thigh be as heavy as possible. If it feels like too much, great place to sort of slide something underneath the knee, a block or a cushion. And just a really gentle outward rotation of that right side. There's nothing that's forceful here, just breathing into this. Let's take a few more. And now carefully start to bring that right knee back up. You're going to squeeze the right knee back into the chest. So you've been here before. Now this time the left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Draw the thigh across. Just coming into a spinal twist and just finding your range of motion. So you don't have to crank yourself into this. If you need to place something underneath your knee just to prop yourself up, go ahead and do that. Keep both shoulders heavy, especially that right shoulder. And just deep belly breaths here. And just creating some space in the lower back. All right, start to make your way back through center. Hug that right knee in one more time. Good, and now pull the left knee in. Switch the grip with the hands and right leg goes long. So just heading into the opposite side here. And right away, you're welcome to find some movement. Just want to start to even out that left side. Keep the backs of the shoulders heavy. Let your head be heavy here. Good. A few more breaths. Take your time. And then as you come back through center, step that left foot down, right back into our reclined tree pose. So remember that left foot can go anywhere along the inside of the right leg. Just find the spot that feels comfortable, where you feel an opening that doesn't feel like too much or it's painful. Just try to focus on really letting go here, relaxing that left leg. And last 3 breaths. And so the end of the 3rd breath, the knee comes back up. Pull the thigh in, give yourself a gentle squeeze, and then take the right hand to the outside of the left leg and move into that same spinal twist. And that's always going to feel a bit different from side to side. So just modify or adjust as needed. And try to really breathe into the lowest part of your belly. So filling up all the way, expanding. Smooth, steady exhale out of the nose. And last couple breaths. And engage your core. Take your time as you come back. Left knee in, right knee in, arms around the shins, and squeeze. Okay, now bring both of your feet down onto the mat. We're going to get a bit deeper into the hips. So sole of right foot reaches up toward the ceiling. And before we do anything else, just start to curl those right toes into your face. So it should look like you're standing on the ceiling. And now begin to rotate your right thigh outwards. So you're turning your toes, your knee, and your hip all to the right. So you should feel that gentle outward rotation. And now come back through center. Again, we're rotating starting from the hip. So rotate that hip out, the knee, the toes follow, and come back through center. I want you to do that 3 more times. Again, really take your time, rotate out, back through center. Again, 2 more. Okay, and last one here. Now we're gonna hold like this. Bend the knee and right ankle comes to the top of your left thigh. So you have your figure 4 shape. You might already feel this in your right hip. You can always stay here. You just have your arms alongside, or option to lift that left foot up. And again, if you feel like reaching through to grab the back of the leg is too much, just keep your arms alongside, work from here. Or the right arm reaches through the space between the legs, and then grabbing for the back of the left leg. Thread the needle. And try to soften your neck and your shoulders here. We don't want any tension in our upper body. Just focusing on that stretch in our right hip. Every breath in, try to lengthen through your lower back. Find that connection. Exhale, just gently pulling the left thigh to the left shoulder. And try to soften your jaw. Soften across the forehead, all those sort of small areas where we start to tense up. And we'll do this for 3 more cycles of breath. And so end of the 3rd breath, release the hands, lower your feet onto the mat. And if you like, you can give your knees just a gentle sway back and forth. And then make your way back through center. This time, left foot reaches up. So those same movements first, curl the toes back to the face, and then start that outward rotation, turning the hip, the knee, the foot out to the left, and come back through center. Good, rotating out. Take your time, really feel the hip moving. Come back through center. Good, do 3 more. And slow and control. Try to go a little bit further each time. 2 more. Good, so the last one, you're holding that rotation out, bend the knee, ankle to top of right thigh. So just heading into that same pose on the left side now. And again, it's going to be different. My left side is quite a bit tighter. So if you are the same, maybe you don't interlace, or you just take maybe 4 or 5 breaths before you get there. You don't have to force yourself into anything. But if you are interlacing, just try to do so with the opposite grip. So find your non-dominant grip, just to even out the stretch, the webbing of the hands. And then right away, just find that rhythm of breath. Inhaling, lengthening the lower back. Exhale, squeeze the right thigh in, just really gently. And just noticing the quality of your breath. Notice if it feels staggered or stuck at all. Try your best to smooth it out. We'll be here for 5 more cycles. So at the end of the 5th breath, just start to lower your feet onto the mat. You can walk them about mat distance apart and just give your knees a gentle sway. Good, so knees come back through center. You're gonna take your right arm overhead. Now roll onto the right side. You can land here just for a few breaths. Maybe pull your knees in close to your chest. Good, and then whenever you are ready, just start to transition into a wide-legged child's pose. Wide-legged child's pose. Just bringing hips back to the heels. Rest the forehead. And then just breathing into that. We've already worked on opening our hips quite a bit, so they should feel slightly warmed up. Any tightness in the shoulders, a little bend in the elbows. All right, so let's start to spread the fingers out wide, press into the hands, come forward into a tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, spread the fingers out wide. Now on your inhale, let your belly drop. Start to scoop through your low back, lift the chest, lift the gaze, shoulders back. And exhale, drop the tailbone, rounding the spine slowly. Drop the head and press up right between your shoulder blades. Okay, taking your time, breathing in here, coming into cow pose. And exhale, rounding to cat pose. Okay, so do that 3 more times. And then last 2 here. Good, 1 more, just like that. And come back to neutral spine. Start to walk the knees back, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up to a downward dog. So I want the feet to be about hip distance apart. Hands are shoulder width. Spreading fingers wide, rooting down, especially through the index fingers and the thumbs. And you can just pedal this out. Good, just take about 3 more cycles of breath here. And then at the end of the 3rd breath, you're gonna look forward between your hands and just walk your feet toward the hands. You're coming toward the top of the mat. Just turn to the side so you can see. You want a really big bend in your knees so your belly rests right onto your thighs. And then instead of looking forward here, just release the head completely. And hold on to your opposite elbows. So you're just passively folding forward. So I have to let my cat in or he won't stop scratching at the door. All right, if it feels good here, you can sway slowly side to side. So release the hands from the elbows. Take an inhale as you halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold, heavy, heavy head. Good. 2 more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. And last one here. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot all the way back. Drop the back knee down and untuck your toes. And I guess I'm going to turn into a bit of an angle just so you can see. So we're going to move with the breath here. So on your inhale, you're going to rock your hips back, curl the right toes in toward the face. And then on the exhale, gently lunge forward. All right, so breathe in, bring the hips back. You should feel this in the right hamstring. Exhale, lunge, feeling this in the front of your left hip. 5 more, just like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. So 4 more, just like that. Stay with that pace, moving with the breath. So at the end of the 5th, you're going to come forward, plant the hands, curl the back toes under, downward facing dog. And start to walk the feet forward toward the hands. Take a breath in as you halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, right foot steps back, tap the back knee down, untuck the toes. So right into the same movements. Breathe in. Bring the hips back, straighten that left leg, hamstring stretch. Exhale, lunge, getting into the front of the right hip. Okay, breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. And then end of the 3rd, come forward, tuck those back toes under, downward dog. And really walk this one out, give the hips a little sway back and forth. Okay, now bring the knees down onto the mat. Sit onto either hip, extend the legs out in front of you. If you know you have tight hamstrings, bend the knees a little bit. The toes are curled back to the face. Long spine, reach up, take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, hinge just to the point where your back can stay straight. So as soon as you start to do this, come back up and then just let your hands land. So coming into a nice active forward fold. So every breath in, a little bit of length here. Exhale, fold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pretty much same position we are in when we're standing doing this, when we're lengthening, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Okay, do that a few more times. All right, now start to walk yourself back up. And you can lean back if you like, plant the hands, bring the feet to the mat, maybe give your knees a gentle sway. And now walk the soles of the feet together. Your knees fall open, and you do want your heels relatively close toward your hips or your pelvis. So hands come to the tops of the feet. Again, take a breath in with a long spine. Exhale, fold just to your range of motion. Looking for a flat back here. Breathe in, lengthen. You can also sit up onto a pillow in this one, or a block, or a book. It will allow you to go a little bit deeper into the fold. Just a few more breaths. And carefully start to rise up. Bring the knees together. Wrap the arms around the shins. Tuck your chin to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe lean back a little bit, rounding through the spine to find a bit of a stretch between the shoulder blades. Good, and come back up. And then make your way onto your back. You can come with your legs straight, arms alongside, or I can bring the soles of the feet together if you like. Knees are wide. And just try to make any adjustments. Get really comfortable. I'm just taking some really deep belly breaths here. And then just turning your gaze to one side, doesn't matter which side, maybe left ear reaches toward the mat. And take a few breaths. Just get into the neck, the shoulder. And then right into the opposite side, switch the gaze. And take about 3 or 4 breaths into that opposite side. And then make your way back through center. So if anyone showed up today at 8 a.m., I apologize. We sent out an email yesterday that we were starting at 7:45 today, just because I have a scheduling conflict in another class that starts right at 8:30. So this is where I will leave you today. I know Glenn was here at 7:45, but I'm not sure if anyone else hopped on at 7:45 as well. So I apologize about the shortening of class. I will be back tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m., and it will be till 8:30. Hopefully, if you have some extra time, maybe stay on your mat and do some more movement before you start your day. But thank you to everyone who came on today, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and it looks beautiful and sunny outside, so hopefully you can enjoy some of that. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Annie.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. See you tomorrow. Bye.